Live. It's good to go in live.
I think we're all live, so we can make a start. Good afternoon all, can I welcome you to the Cabinet. Item number 1 on the agenda is apologies for absence.
Absence this evening. Apologies for absence from Councillors Nigel Barker and Kathy Rouse. That's it.
Are there any other apologies from the James?
In terms of officers, yeah, representation from MD and Director of Finance, but I think we've got deputies and we'll provide any clarifications needed.
Item 2, members are requested to declare the existence and nature of any disclosable pecuniary interest and or other interests not already on their register of interests in any item on the agenda and withdraw from the meeting at the appropriate time. Are there any declarations of interest?
Yes, Chair, I've got 2 items, 5 and 11, arising out of my membership of the McNeil Board, and I'll declare an interest and leave the meeting because they are disclosable interests.
A note of that. Item number 3, minutes of the last meeting. That's the first, it's under item 3. First of all, the Cabinet meeting on the 23rd of October. Any matters arising from that, page 4, page 5, page 6, page 7, page 8. Are we happy with those minutes? Thank you. And minutes of the meeting held on Thursday, the 6th of November for the Cabinet. That's page 9, page 10. Are we happy that those are a true record? Would it move them, please?
Move them, Chair.
Thank you very much. Can we move on to our agenda item number 4, which is the performance report update July-September 2025.
Thank you, Chair. Okay, so this is an update for the Q2 performance of the council plan. So it's been to all 4 scrutiny meetings and also to the SMT. What I intend to do, if it's okay, is to go through the themes of the council plan and just to pick out some highlights and give some explanations where there are exemptions. So for a great place to live, good updates. So we made some significant progress in terms of community health and well-being. We delivered new physical activity programs and also targeted health interventions. We made improvements to play areas and leisure facilities. A notable achievement is we've completed 39 new affordable homes and also launched some community safety initiatives around antisocial behaviour and awarded grants for mental health and social inclusion. The council has also advanced some key infrastructure projects such as the shopfront improvement scheme and also public realm enhancements, and they're funded by UK Shared Prosperity Fund. With regards to local businesses and tourism, we've expanded the food and drink trail to include 44 businesses, and we've achieved some strong engagement over social media. With regards to the metrics, we've got a few metrics that have been flagged as red, but there are some explanations. So with regards to increasing participation in leisure, the target is an ambitious target of just over 283,000, and we achieved 273,000, just over, within the 10% target, and that was predominantly due to software issues at New Clay Cross. We spoke to the AD, just to get that software refined, to make sure it's capturing everybody that's using the centre. With regards to achieving 1,600 monthly attendances of community-based activities, the target was 4,800 and we achieved 4,500. It's a well-known issue. just due to the summer holidays, that number does go down slightly. It was the same in quarter 2, but it just picked up again in quarters 3 and 4. There's no issue. With regards to empty properties, the target is 6 per year and we're on 2. So it's one of those targets where it's such a small number. 3 would have been green and 2 is red. But some of the explanations of this, the empty homes property officer, they've done the easy properties and now it's getting to the ones that are a bit more difficult now in terms of engaging with owners. So again, they still want to continue with that target, but because it is ambitious, but there are no constraints to contacting owners. With regards to number of proactive community patrols, so the target was 3 and we achieved 1. Some of the reasons being that the environmental health team, they've got a vacant post and also one other officer is dealing with animal licensing issues. But on a positive note, the number of proactive littering and dog filing patrols have met their target as well. So they're just around the community patrols that were just under. Moving on to the theme of a great place to work. So some of the notable achievements include the launch of the Digital Skills Project. So this is about upskilling residents in technology and digital. New apprenticeships with local colleges for street scene apprentices, and we've also successfully funded a lifeguard and swimming training, teacher training courses. We've also awarded 15 grants, and that's to the Shopfront Improvement Scheme to revitalize, to spruce up, can we say, our high streets as well. Moving on to a great place to access good public services. So some good news around Citizen Advice Bureau. They've signed a new 5-year lease at the new Claycross Active building. And we've also done a number of initiatives around mental health and social inclusion projects. We've made some good key infrastructure enhancements around customer service facilities, and also in terms of digital innovations, we've signed up to a new what's called Future Fox AI tool, and that's to help planning with their consultation around local plans and sorting out feedback. And also we've launched another app for leisure called Just Do More. So that is allowing people to make bookings via their mobile. And again, it has a saves on the environment as well in terms of paper. And in terms of capital receipts through property sales, we've achieved just over 233,000 in capital receipts. And the final one, a great place that cares for the environment. So Comms have done a lot of good work around sustainability campaigns. This includes Plastic Free July and Organic September, and these are to support positive behaviours in reducing waste and food waste. We've done some good work around decarbonisation. So the new air source heat pump is operational at Eckington Leisure Centre, and also solar panels have been installed at Bailey Square. The Warm Homes local grant scheme has been launched, and the council continues to improve its own emissions through the temporary vehicle storage that we see at Pioneer, and also ordering 2 electric cars for their pools, for their electric pool cars. And also community engagement remains strong around litter picking, climate change grants, and also prosecutions around fly tipping. If there's any questions?
Anybody, any questions?
No, Chair.
I think it's a very good report. We looked to do a lot, and we've made great strides, and we continue to keep to the plan. And the very few anomalies are easily explained either by one, shortage of staff, and one, that it is a target of 6, and the difference between a red and a green is 1 and 2. So I think we can be proud of ourselves for the progress that we're making on the performance. Anybody else, any comments?
I just agree with all that, Chair. You know, it would be wrong if we hit all the targets anyway, because that would suggest that the targets weren't challenging enough. And things in there that obviously we would like to achieve, but you know, we have the explanation as to why we're not, and I think we can accept that and still keep striving to achieve them.
The recommendations, that the progress against the council plan 23 to 27 objectives are noted. Have we a second?
Yep. Sorry, you'll carry on, Pat.
I think it's you this time. That's carried. Agenda item 5, choice-based lettings and allocation policy.
And I'll just leave that.
This was yours, Nigel, are you?
You'll carry on. I'm still on M1 yet.
Was anybody detailed to talk to this one?
I'm happy to give a bit of an overview, Chair, but just in recognition, it's not my area, obviously. Jane Dethick's
Yes.
not here today. So, choice-based lettings and allocations policy is obviously how we allocate tenancies in our housing stock, but also where we've got nomination rights with registered providers and housing associations. And the purpose of the report is to highlight some key changes in paragraph 2.2, where that's summarised, which are due to, should it be approved, come into effect from 1st of April 2026. And in the meantime, we need to do the training on all the amendments. Key point, policies in line with current housing legislation and guidance, and like I say, 2.2 is the key area, and the recommendations are on page 33.
Anybody else got any comments? It's a weighty document. You can see the amendments. You can see when they will come into force. They've gone through all the relevant committees.
I've moved it, Chair.
Just on that, Pat, they are just amendments, and it's just something that we need to update on a regular basis because situations change, and like you say, they've gone through various committees and everybody's had a look at it. So hopefully there's nothing too controversial in there. So yeah, that's where we're at.
Yes.
Yes, Chair. I mean, I can't say anything controversial. It does bring things up to date, like the flexible tenancies, and you know, it's no longer needed, obviously, for that particular for issue of domestic violence, and we've got things in place. Can I just ask the armed forces one? Does that apply to veterans as well as people?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to make that clear because I mean we have got a positive approach to supporting veterans in the district and things like that. So I just wanted to be clear about that. That does include those as well.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No other comments? You can see the recommendations before you.
Move them, Chair.
Yeah, I'll second them.
So we're moving 1 and 2.
Yeah.
That we agree the amendments to the adopted draft policy, and the Cabinet agree to the implementation date, the 1st of April 2026, except for the flexible tenancy amendment, which will be withdrawn immediately as this type of tenancy is no longer in use.
Yeah.
All those in favour, please? Any against? That's carried.
Does Kevin have to miss this one or not?
I don't think so. It's that,
5 and 11.
it's the 11
Okay.
that I've,
Yeah.
5 and 11.
Okay.
we'll have him back in. Can we move to our agenda item 6, please? This is the tenancy policy. Report by Councillor Barker. Anything to
No, it's just that one, isn't it? What we've just talked about.
No,
It's a similar.
Very simple, updated regarding flexible tenancies.
Remove flexible
no,
tenancies.
it's just the second one that we've already in the,
An impact on another document, the
Yeah.
changes to the flexible
Yes.
tenancies, yeah.
That's all that is. Yeah, that's all it is. Just to-
yes, that was actually in the recommendations of the previous report.
Yes, and it's repeated.
It's repeated. So we're happy with agenda item
Move it,
6 then, the recommendation one.
Yeah.
Chair.
Agenda item 7 then is the new equality and diversity policy.
Thank you, Chair. Can I pass this over to me to go through, please?
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Councillor. Yep, so this is the new equality and diversity policy. It's not so new, it's more of a refreshed policy. Just a bit of background, we've always had equality policies, one looking outward towards a district and towards residents and service users, one looking internally through a HR perspective for employees. And at the time, it was felt that when we're refreshing the document, we just combine the two for ease. So the document has been to SMT, it's been to equality representatives in the council through our Teams channel, and it's been through the unions, and there's also been an equality impact assessment. So just to give some of the differences or some of the improvements that we've made, one of the things that we've recognised that there's a growing awareness of mental health issues and also neurodiversity, so we've included them as a section explicitly. One of the things that as an equalities officer is disability is easier said, but there's such a wide ranging spectrum of different types of disabilities that it's important to capture them. We've also included an element of hidden disabilities. So one of the things that we emphasise is not all disabilities are visible. So that hidden disabilities, we've signed up to the sunflower scheme. I don't know if you've seen people wear the lanyard with the sunflowers, and that's important. And customer services have received training on that as well to identify when people might need more time or more support. Also under the policies, we expanded responsibility section. So this makes clear who is responsible and for what actions. So in plans, policies and practices, and in service delivery, employment and partnership and contracting and commissioning. So just making it explicit who has what responsibilities. Again, it has been shared with SMT and staff members. We did receive some feedback from the unions regarding adding some more information around different organisations that people can go to for support. And yes, it's been to scrutiny as well. So if there's any questions?
Yeah, I'd just like to say, I think it's an excellent policy. I think there's a lot of work gone into it to make sure that it is relevant to today's requirements. I think the one thing where we may need to be mindful is with the changing law around LGBT and that, and it's like keeping that flexible approach as we go through it. But I think that document itself does the job as we move forward.
Any other comments? You can see the recommendations to approve the refreshed equality and diversity policy. I'll move that. For a seconder.
Second, Chair.
All those in favour? That's carried. Agenda item.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Agenda item 8 is the medium-term financial plan, revised budget 25-26. That must be mine. This is a revision of the 25-26 budget that was approved by the council last January. Revisions will be approved by the council as part of the budget setting process with the medium-term financial plan in January. Efficiencies identified through the budget process have largely mitigated any growth in the budget, and the variances are identified in Table 1 of this report. The vacancy savings in pay budget have been achieved, but there has been need to use agency staff to cover some vacancies which resulted in an increase of pay costs. Costs increases for building maintenance and insurance premiums, as well as investments in ITC, have been offset by the reductions in utility costs and an increase in interest income. Overall, the impact of the review means that the original budget forecast contribution from the Resilience Reserve Fund of 294,000 has now been met, and a contribution to reserves of 432,000 is now forecast. There are no major changes to the HRA budget. There has been a small increase in management fees paid to Ricknell Homes of £30,000 to meet the cost of the actual pay awards. The capital programme is detailed at Appendix 4 and includes rollovers from last year. The HRA capital programme has been increased following the receipt of the Warm Homes grant funding for local energy efficient projects. The General Fund capital programme has also been increased following the additional UK Shared Prosperity Grant funding received this year. That's an update on that. We forecast that we would need to go into reserves. At the moment, it doesn't look as though we have. We're down in some areas, utilities, but we're up in the utilities, but we're down in some of the staff costs. And yes. Any questions from anybody?
Just a comment. I asked the question because it did seem quite a variance there, but I spoke to Jane, and it's this extended producer responsibility thing that we got money in that's in the budget there on Appendix 1, but it is to fund
Greenways,
the
new
other stuff. So it has skewed the budget a bit, but that's because we've got this external money.
Chair, Justin.
Oh yeah, sorry, I didn't see. Sorry, yeah.
Sorry.
Hello.
Sorry, Justin.
No, go ahead. What you're saying's fine.
No, I didn't realise you, because I know Jane's not well, is she? She's
Yeah.
badly off. Not sure badly, yes. Sorry, Justin, you crack on. You know more better than I do.
Well, I think you kind of covered the main points, really. So when we set the budget, obviously last year, we knew that we would get some extended producer responsibility funding, and there was a guaranteed minimum of the £430,000, but we've now been notified that that will be up to £821,000 for this financial year. But as we know, with the additional food waste coming in, there's additional costs there too.
Well, I'd seen in the small print, as Nigel was saying, 383,000. And if you look in the same similar column, there's a movement of just under 380,000. The two in the sheet, in the column that cancel one another out, but they still have to be accounted for in and out and out, out and in.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah.
If you get that.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Are there any?
I was just going to add some comment, Chair. Obviously, it's equivalent, in fact, to a Q2 outturn report, and what it does, I think, is give us confidence that everything is roughly on plan.
Yes.
As we've just been told, it might look better in the headline figure, but there's some devil in those details.
That's right.
But what it does do, I think, is give us confidence as we go into the critical period around Christmas time, when the budget is beginning to be set once we know the final settlement, that we're in the position we expect to be in. And so we can plan accordingly, and it's in a much better position than some other authorities, for example, that don't have a roughly balanced budget in the sense ours are. So I think what we can do is take confidence from it that everything is where we predicted it would be when we were presented with the budget papers in January time.
Yeah, is that right? Are you happy with that, Justine, that statement? You're not going to drop a bombshell on it?
No bombshells.
That's great, thank you.
You can see the recommendations The following recommendations are made to the Cabinet. The budget in respect of the general fund as set out in Appendix 1 of the report be approved. The budget in respect of HRA as set out in Appendix 3 of this report to be approved as the current budget for 2025-26, and the capital programme as set out in Appendix 4 of this report to be approved as the current budget for 25-26. Are we happy to move that?
Have you moved it?
Yes, I'll move that.
I'll second that then. Well,
All those in favour? We now move to item 9, which is any other urgent matters which the leader is of the opinion should be considered as a matter of urgency in accordance with the provision of the statutory instruments 2012 number 2089 regulation 11. Have you any?
I have no urgent items.
In that case, we move to item 10, which is the exclusion of the public. That the public now be excluded from the meeting during the discussion of the following items of business to avoid the disclosure of them of exempt information as defined in Part 1 of the Schedule 12A of the Local Government Act 1972, as amended by the Local Government Act Access to Information Variation Order of 2006. The category of exempt information is stated on each item.
Yep. Do we have to agree that? Are we happy?
Oh, we're happy to agree that, yes.
Yeah.